Baie dankie Kobus. In ons familieboere netwerk Saai werk ons baie hard om boere op hulle plase te hou. For us, the family that's eking out a living from the soil is the most important person in the world. And today we can have lawyers and architects and policemen and professors because we still have enough people who produce food. No matter how hard we work, no matter how many hours we put into that, no matter how many tanks full of blood and sweat we spent in it, if we cannot put stars in the eyes of youngsters about the future of agriculture in South Africa, we are wasting our time. And this is why it is so important for us to link up with Tuks Landbou. It could not have come at a better time for us, and it's the most important investment we can make, investing in the brightest young minds in this sector. Working with the students in agriculture, and Professor Webb, one day in heaven I will have your job. It must be quite an experience to spend your days in an environment where you engage the leaders of tomorrow on a daily basis. And thank you for the passion with which you do that. And congratulations on the products that we see from your hands. You know, an architect can always show a building as a monument for his work, and an engineer can show a bridge or an irrigation system which he has designed. But you guys, your monuments are the leaders of tomorrow. There are three big mistakes which we take a lot of care not to make. First of all, we are so conscious about the fact that the world in which we live is not the same as the world of tomorrow. We know it will be a big mistake to try to prepare today's students for the world of today. We don't know the world which they have to manage. So we cannot really teach them how to deal with that world. We can only teach them to have ball sense, to utilize the ball as it gets to their hands. And secondly, we understand that the world is much bigger than just our own country, our own region, or our own continent. Their world is growing smaller every day. Every farmer is every day in competition with the best other farmers in the world. And it's increasingly so. And competitiveness is the name of the game. And efficiencies drive our markets. You can only be competitive if you are highly efficient. That's why I cannot agree more with what Bernard said. The most important part of agriculture is not the farm, is not the land, is not the water, is not the mechanization or the technology, is not the markets. It's the man or the woman who works the soil. So our focus for the future of agriculture should be how to prepare that man, that woman, who's the farmer. And that's why it's so important to recruit the brightest young minds into this industry. And this is also why we went to lengths in Saai to match Tuks Landbou students up with opportunities elsewhere in the world, to engage them in debates with students' organizations from universities across Europe and the USA and Canada and Australia and Argentina, and to wrestle the most controversial issues down to the ground, to prepare them to be global leaders in this industry. And that's also why we go to lengths to ensure that they engage in a proper way with science all over the world. So this is what I had to say to you, but more important, I have a few things to say to the students. You guys must grab the future because it's yours. Carpe diem. You must run into the open spaces, and there are more of them opening up. And you don't need to build on what my generation has put in place, because your future is so much differently. You must think new every day. And innovation is your weapon. Don't be scared of new ideas. And don't be scared to dream. Dream big. If your dreams do not scare you today, they are not big enough, then you must dream all over. Imagine the future into reality. And to our limited capacity, we will help you with that, because we love sharing into in the energy which is generated by youth. Thanks.